Hell of a drop. I got to get that off to Matitude. Toot sweet.
He just celebrated a birthday over the weekend.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He's not even 30 yet, is he?
No.
Is he 28?
Yes.
He's still young and fresh-faced and not yet jaded about the path that his life will invariably take. That's a beautiful thing.
He's doing his thug thizzle. He's out there in these streets, playing all the beats in the clubs. All the ladies coming up to him, wishing him happy birthday.
Yeah, listen, he got yoked a couple of years ago, and that's good, and, he's a talented dude.
I can't remember the last time I seen him in person, though. We talk over text often, but I haven't met up with him in quite a while.
Now, you'll hit him up or he'll hit you up?
Both.
Who initiates the conversation?
It depends. If Matitude hits me up if you want something,
What does he need from you?
There have been times where he's like, hey, if you want to come out to this event, and, sometimes I show love, sometimes I don't. Or if he needs me to, in the past, he's asked me to, retweet things. So it just depends. I check in on my friends. So I'll just text him for no reason, like, hey, I was thinking about you. And he's like, why? I'm like, all right, well, then, hi, never mind. And I'll just say that.
Well, why don't you just tell him why you were thinking about him?
But there's no particular reason. Sometimes I just think about people.
He was just on Poundcake's mind, and he wanted to let him know.
I just want to let you know.
How you been?
Make sure everything's good with you. He's like, well, it's not. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking about you anyway.
Bye. See you later.
Well, now it's getting interesting.
Yeah.
It's not. Is he all right?
No. I was exaggerating.
Is there any chance that he'll harm himself or others?
No, he's
all right.
He has a better life than I do.
Want to make sure. Wow, he has a better life than you do, and still, if you ask him, he goes, yeah, things aren't great. And that's still better than your life? Yeah, sure. What do you have to worry about? You're living the life.
I'm living.
You got it made.
I'm existing.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing.
Are we existing or are we living?
It's the same thing.
Nah, there's a lot of people that exist but don't.
Life's just killing time. I don't know why people haven't figured this out. Life is just killing time. And so the more you can get your head around that, the happier you'll be. I don't know why everybody thinks there's some big thing over the horizon.
I need to go depress that button.
So what?
I said I need to go depress that button.
Depress that button. That's right.
So I can be.
Thank you to DJ Jake C, by the way, for putting that together. I like that a lot. He'll send me little show mashups from time to time.
Just enjoy what you got going on.
Listen, always strive. Listen, always strive. I think ambition is one of the best qualities in a human being. But, temper your expectations and you'll be a lot happier. Mm-hmm. Not to throw your hands in the air. I mean, that's silly too. But I'm surprised. I got to tell you, just as a side note, I'm surprised at how many birds are still around.
Why?
I hear, don't they usually go south this time of year?
Not all of them. That's just geese, I think.
No,
I think a lot of birds I've heard every morning, even when it was like a blizzard out here, I hear birds chirping. I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised.
When the lake
How many birds are chirping this time of year in Ohio?
There was a day last week or the week before where there was like holes in the ice and there was thousands of birds in this one area because that's where they could get to the water. And so it's, they're around. I see them all the time. They fly past my windows constantly.
My one friend who's a bird enthusiast and makes me go on birding hikes with her, she texted me and was like, oh my God, the great snowy owls are at Burke Lakefront Airport. I guess these specific owls come from the Arctic every year to Burke Lakefront Airport. This is where they vacation for the winter when it gets too cold in the Arctic. I'm dead serious.
A private airstrip. Thank you very much. We don't screw around.
She was freaking out. She's like, do you want to go see the great snowy owl? I can't wait. It's so exciting. And I was like, not my scene, bro, but I hope you get what you need to get out of it. But
it's like the great migratory pigeons that now go to Hopkins to watch the merger of Spirit and Frontier Airlines.
Yes.
Oh, they were all lined up there.
Flight enthusiasts.
Ready to crap on fewer planes.
Wait, merger?
Yeah, Spirit and Frontier are merging into what I can only assume will be one low-cost behemoth.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I've never taken Frontier, but I've taken Spirit.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
A little more legroom.
Yeah, same thing.
I've never had a problem with Spirit.
Back in the day, Southwest was like the budget airline, and now Southwest feels like Virgin Atlantic compared to some of these other airlines. Southwest feels like a luxury airliner compared to the cattle roundup that some of these other airlines are.
Yeah, but for $78, you can get where you need to go. So
yeah, no, I go.
What's the bougiest airline you've been on?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't spend a lot of money on flights. I spend money on where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing. I'm totally fine. You know, people complain all the time about flying, and it's like, yeah, if you're going to Dublin, or if you're going overseas, if you're going to Australia, drop a little bit of coin. But like, I've never flown first class.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't care. If I'm going to L.A. or I'm going to Denver or something, I'm going to be in the air for 3 hours. That's fine.
It's not that long.
I can stand on my head for 3 hours. I don't care.
My flight from Hong Kong to the Philippines was on, and this is in 2002, was a really nice plane because that's all that was going there.
Yeah.
But it was like, this is 2002 and everything had its own TV, like touchscreen thing. And it was, and like the food service was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and you had like your own compartment basically.
Yeah. I got the United Airlines credit card, and now it's, you know what, it's honestly easier because it's not terribly expensive, but just to know I'm always going to book with United, because before that I would always be looking for like which airline had $6 cheaper than the one before, or like, okay, this layover is 40 minutes longer, but I am saving $12. So it's like, it was like,
how much is my time
really
worth?
Like, booking a flight before I was just like, just go to the same airline every time was a 4-hour process, because I would be tracking every single website and looking at every single permutation and different apps that you could like.
They got people running
It's
like
just such a
goddamn
mess.
hamsters on a wheel. Tuesday's the best day to book.
I was
shut
that
up.
person, dude.
Please.
And there was
I
an
get
app.
why people get sucked into that, but it's all nonsense.
There was an app, I forget what it's called, but basically what it does is it shows you put in what city you want to go to. So if I want to go from Cleveland to Denver.
Yes, that's traditionally how the travel
Hold
works.
on. It'll book you a direct flight from like Cleveland to Portland, or not a direct flight, a flight from Cleveland to Portland with a layover in Denver, and you just don't get on your second flight. So it's like cheaper
It's super
that
cheap.
way.
It's super cheap because it's a direct flight with a layover.
That's why I was like, I didn't
it's
say it
really,
right.
really cheap.
I've been up since 5.
You spend. I've been up all night. Let's do this together.
When you said that
I
you
was
were
in bed at
driving home,
11:30.
when you said you were driving home from Lansing, I was coming home from Rochester, Michigan, which is just north of Detroit, and I was like, we were probably on the turnpike at the same time this morning.
Yeah, maybe.
I got up and was on the road by like 5:30. So.
And let me tell you something else that pisses me off that I realized last night. And I'm sure this is a casualty of COVID, but it's a billion-dollar corporation, so update your info. McDonald's, all right? Everything was all over the place yesterday. I have to get out of town unscheduled. I didn't plan on any of this, right? So I hadn't eaten all day, literally. Even I eat a couple times a day, right? I hadn't had breakfast, hadn't had lunch, had a couple of pieces of popcorn of the movie we went to, but we left early. So I
With
leave the
water,
popcorn.
as I recall.
With water, yeah. So
you had water.
Huh?
You had water
What do you mean?
with your popcorn at the movies.
Well, the water's for me and the kid.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Why not get a soda? It's a,
No.
He drinks pop all day long.
Well, no. If
but
they,
he can't share it with Nora.
I do like cherry Coke, but if they don't have cherry Coke, I'll get water.
Dr. Pepper.
No, and my
toddlers.
kid doesn't drink pop, so anyway, no water and the popcorn.
Was that her choice?
What's that? Yeah, she drinks water. Yeah, that's what she knows. So anyway, so when I'm on my way back to Ohio last night at like 2 a.m, maybe 1:30, I go, I'm just going to get McDonald's. I'm just going to get like a hamburger or something, just something to eat, right? And you'll see the road signs, 24 hours. I pulled over 3 separate times. Black, dark, closed. I'm like, the signage all over the drive-through, not the lobby. Who wants to go in there?
Right.
Drive-through, 24 hours. Google will say it. 24 hours. Not one of them was open. I'm like, guys.
Has to be COVID, yeah.
Update your signage.
Yeah.
It's McDonald's. Because guess what? When they realize, it's like any other company. It's like this company. When they realize how few people they can get by with, they don't hire people again.
Yeah.
So just update your information. Because guess what?
I'm hungry.
I was peckish.
You know what you should do?
What?
Get yourself some hot and crispy fries from Wendy's.
Hey, maybe you should tell them to have a 24-hour drive-through, Bill. Then I would have been happy to do that.
Well,
Those go dark at 10 p.m. They weren't
but
helping
they're
me
not
out.
lying to you.
Not about the fries.
No, they're not lying. Or about the hours.
That is true.
Not like that lion-ass clown.
they were
like, we're open 24 hours.
24 hours.
No, you're not, Ronald.
And like an a-hole, because these places, when it gets to be like nighttime or whatever, they will close the dining room, but the drive-through will still be deceptively open. So I figured that's what it was happening. So I pull up. The menu is still lit. The parking lot's lit. So I'm sitting there. And I'm like, how long am I going to sit here like an a-hole? Because I don't say hello.
Why?
Because there's sensors. They know when there's a car there.
Yeah, but if there's one person who's high working at 2 a.m, you got to be like, hey, and they'll be like, oh,
if there's one person and they're high, they are hyper-focused. They are looking laser-focused on that sensor. So I'm like, how long am I going to sit here with my window down and wait to see if anybody's in there?
But you didn't say hi?
Well, you didn't go to like a Love's or a Pilot? Like, those are open 24 hours. You can at least get like a granola bar or something?
Well, I ended up, like, when I hit the turnpike, I ended up needing to get gas anyway, so I got like a thing of nuts. But
yeah.
No, you're right. I think those are probably open, but
those are always open.
But that's a whole thing because you're fighting truckers and you're up
not,
on the
though.
Yeah,
Not at 2.
Not at 2 a.m, and
not ever. Like, they're set up so the trucker's going back, you go in the front. It's not a big deal.
Well,
I mean, I know you.
I didn't want to get out.
I get that too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say places like Love specifically is one that I try to go to because they always have really good like fresh cut fruit cups, and I've never had a bad experience with that. So there's options, but I get not one.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't need it that badly. I'll be fine. I'm not going to starve. You know,
Yeah.
if there was one off the highway, like the sign said there
I
was,
get it.
I was like, yeah, but just update your signage, all right? Just whatever. You know, everybody talks about inflation. Oh, inflation. It's not inflation. It's just all these companies making tons of money and still raising their prices. It's not inflation. Gas, super expensive. Yeah, but ExxonMobil made record profits, and they still raise their price. Starbucks, record profits last year. Price everything's going up. They're not going to eat that cost. What are you, crazy?
Of course not.
It's not inflation. McDonald's, they're another one of these companies. Record profits. They made $3 billion last year. Price everything goes up. So they're like, sorry, guys, it's the government. No, it's not the government. UPS, record profits last year. Shipping prices through the roof. I had to send something to, I don't know, I was selling something.
Albuquerque.
Huh?
I don't know, just giving you a...
No, the UPS guy, he goes, try to ship things east of the Mississippi. And I go, well, it didn't really work that way. Because I sent one thing to Massachusetts, and it was like $20 to ship. I sent something to Houston. It was like $75. Dude. And the guy goes, yeah, you got to Eastern Seaboard. Once you get, I'm like, well.
That river, whoa, it's killing us.
Tough to cross.
Like, I don't control where these people live, all right?
Like
I can't tell them.
They're doing it on cattle or something.
Yeah. Hey, you get your, not 90 head of cattle. Bill didn't like that. When you get your 90 cattle across the Rio Grande, you give me a call. Speaking of which, Alan Cox Show After Hours line, you can always just leave a message there. It's 216-986-8903.
What's up, guys? It's Waffles. Hey, I'm just listening to Friday's show, and you guys are talking about, tall front men and stuff. And Alan brought up Peter Steele from Typo Negative. Well, devotion to accuracy department, Peter Steele was also the bass player, so he wasn't technically running around. As far as just a regular running around style front man, I think the tallest I could think of would be Sebastian Bach. It's like 6'3". Country singers, obviously, Trace Atkins, Blake Shelton are like 6'6", 6'5". But, a lot of them play instruments also. So, yeah, if you want to go as far as rappers, that Wizard Cauliflower guy's like 6'4". So,
Wiz Khalifa.
Wizard Cauliflower.
Wizard Cauliflower.
Yeah, I speak waffles.
The pride of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, okay, but I didn't specify running around front.
That's what I was saying. Though.
Oh,
I was saying like a front man that's just like the Mick Jagger of the band, where he's not playing any instruments, he's just
I
singing.
see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking just frontmen for bands. Because the conversation was that most of them are very short. Mm-hmm. Like if you ever meet Mick Jagger or Eddie Vedder, those guys, they're short guys.
And I think someone mentioned Robert Plant, and I think
I said Robert Plant's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And he stuffed his pants. So, whatever he might have been lacking in height, he certainly made up for in girth.
Ow.
I don't know.
You're a sleepy boy. It's
I
okay.
was-
It's okay.
I was reading this guy we had a call from a guy last week who out of the blue, maybe it was attendant to something we were talking about, but I don't recall. But I do recall him really pissed off because he couldn't get his money from his bank or something. Or do you remember that? He was like, I called my bank and they said, oh God, a guy called. Anyway, I was watching this other guy who
don't remember that.
deposited a check into his bank account, and then they closed the branch. And so the bank was like, it's just gone. We closed. He deposited a $33,000 check into his bank account, and then it disappeared when the branch closed down.
No way.
But this is another one of these examples where he had to call the local news, and they go, like they
that's what
pretend
you're
they're
talking about.
working
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Is that what it? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
These people, they can't get satisfaction with the actual company with whom they do business. They're gambling with your money anyway once you deposit it. And so they'll call, on your side 7. And this guy, Brian Leonard, deposited a 5-figure check. And then the bank said, no, we don't have it. The branch closed down. Like they just put it in the corner of the building and then tore the building down.
And I said, you're telling me that Bank of America lost $33,000 of my money, and you're telling me right here to my face there's nothing you can do. Nobody said, we'll find out where the money is, we'll make good on it, we'll take care of it. There was none of that. The woman said that there was no record of the transaction, so as far as she was concerned, no transaction happened. When I realized the branch that was closed and the teller that took my $33,000 cashier's check is nowhere to be found, my heart sank into my stomach.
I mean, I don't understand that because, and I don't frankly care to learn more, but I don't get what the branch closing would have to do with your money.
If they don't have any receipts or anything.
It's all
anymore?
ones and zeros in the air. Like once they scan it and it's in, who cares?
They must have been doing something wrong because, like when you deposit something, unless he just like dropped it in like an envelope, like old fashioned
He
style.
said he gave it to a teller.
Yeah, then that's very strange.
So he ended up getting ABC 7 on your side. This was Bay Area, I think.
Mobile deposit doesn't sound so bad now,
So
does it?
bad.
Mary?
Take a picture.
I use it.
of
I
your
did that
check.
today.
I know. I'm proud of you.
Picture of
But
your
you're-
check.
You're very against it for a while.
I was,
Yeah.
and now I'm realizing that technology makes my life so much easier in every single way.
Yeah, but you also, by your own admission, weren't going into bank lobbies because you had to. You liked the
No,
coffee and the camaraderie.
Yes, I do. I was in the bank today, this morning, and there was a guy just like me. He said hi to every teller on the way in. They're like, "Hey, see you later, Stuart. How's the wife?" And I was
But
like,
he was
yes.
70.
He was probably in his mid to late 60s. Yes.
And you are
To
not.
early 70s.
Yeah.
We both had on
It's a
our-
good way to make a lot of old friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
we both had on our pajama
I got
pants.
enough of those.
It was great. I loved it.
Pajama pants.
Yeah. Well, I'm not putting on jeans to drive home at 5 in the morning.
You're going outside in public.
No,
Put
I
some
wasn't.
pants on.
Who cares?
Huh?
I was in my car.
You
And
said
then
you
I-
went into the lobby.
Yeah, because I was like, all right, well, I'm already out. I might as well do this. It's just sweatpants. People wear sweatpants all the time.
All right. Not like SpongeBob pajama
No, just
pants?
gray.
Oh, okay.
I had a doctor's appointment. I had blood work Friday.
Oh, all right.
Follow up today.
Uh-huh.
Everything's great.
The box doctor, they got to scrape it out?
No,
or okay.
regular.
All right.
Regular doctor. My annual blood work doctor. I don't know.
Annual.
He said come
yeah.
once a year and get your stuff checked out.
I understand. All right, get in here and
We'll check your hemoglobin.
yeah, let me check everything out. Hey, your hemoglobin's 8. I'm not
not good.
so concerned right now, but
Hemo's good. You're globin way down. Way down.
What are you even doing with this globin, bro?
Some globin vitamins.
on the money front, by the way, and then I have to go to a break here, but I am so sick. I wish they would tell you in the description of these Netflix documentaries, this has no payoff.
Yeah.
That should be in the synopsis of the show. We watched this
Goes
thing.
nowhere.
It was mercifully maybe 3 or 4 episodes called The Puppet Master. They put it up right in front about this con man who had conned this woman in England 30 years ago or had kidnapped these people and told them he was MI5 and they had to stay with him. And this one woman is like under his control with him traveling throughout Europe for 9 years. Jeez. No contact with her family. This guy ends up going to prison, but then he appeals the case. I'm telling you this so you don't have to watch it. Appeals the case, gets out of prison, does it again to some other family's mom or something, right? And you're like, okay, so
And
what, you know,
that's it.
And he lived happily ever after.
well, yeah, like the last frame is, you know, when you get to the end of something and it's a bunch of text, you're like,
Yeah.
oh no,
You're like, dang
telling
it.
you what happened. You know,
Yeah.
they still don't know where they are.
He took $33,000 and
Christ.
closed the branch.
Because they will put anything now on. Go home tonight, shoot some crap on your iPhone, send it to Netflix. They will put it up there. They'll fake rank it at number 5, and they'll put it up there.
been
They
waiting.
should tell you in these documentaries, like, because they blew their load with Making a Murderer. So now they're just putting all this stuff up there because people love true crime crap. But they should tell you in the thing, hey, FYI, there's no real payoff to this. It's
gonna take
might be if you're somebody who watches for the journey, then you might enjoy that. But there's no denouement, if you will, in this thing. There's no
But
conclusion.
don't you like movies that like an actual feature film that have endings like that? And I feel like you've said those are okay.
Yeah, because that's fiction. It's all made up, so I can come to a conclusion on my own. This is a documentary is supposed to document things.
It documented all the information
I know.
that they had.
It did. All that they had. I know. Okay, I'm going to have those Dream Theater passes for you after the break. So if you're into more proggy rock, they're coming through to do the Goodyear Theater, the end of this month, the 23rd, a couple of weeks away.